could just moan it and learn how to fly it.
You don't even want to learn how to play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is not my type of game.
Okay.
I don't feel like wreaking havoc and shooting people.
Just don't fall. So, I'm gonna attempt to change out my air filter with this box right here. And I know all the time I'm talking to my daughter, but you gonna stay out here and ruin my video or what? Bye. Love you. So, I am here changing out my air filter. That's this thing right here. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put this new one that I bought, this setup here, on there. So, let's do a little time lapse, and we'll be right back once the product is done. Okay, I had to end up cleaning the airflow, that mass airflow sensor, and in the spot, I think everybody should do this because this would help you out a lot as far as, you know, car driving dirty or whatever, or riding kind of funny. What this is like airflow sensor gives the temperature or the flow of the air and the temperature of it as it goes through the car to the whatchamacallit. Do this. And a little piece off of there, and that's it. Got it clean with the mass airflow sensor. There's the flow. You just spray that down up in there and let that dry out, and it should give you a good reading. That way you don't have no problems. And you should clean this I wouldn't say regularly, but I would say about every 30,000-40,000 miles. You get an opportunity, you know, clean that little sensor in there. You'll be surprised at what it'll do for you if you clean it. I mean, you'll be surprised at a lot of things that you do that will help you to maintain your vehicles if you guys can't afford it, and especially, you know, when you gotta work on a budget. So the best thing to do is to maintain what you have, and that's what I do. So time lapse. All done. And, I'm gonna test it out in a few. I just wanna make sure that all my tools are so I got everything hooked up the way it's supposed to be hooked up. Nothing's loose looking, it's out of place. I didn't forget anything. Like batteries, top of the engine, you know, stuff that can cause a problem later on. So, here it is. The mass airflow sensor is all hooked up. We got a new filter on that baby. Maybe give us about a good 2 horsepower. It's true now. That's good. That's all you need is 2 horsepower, right? It's just a little bit of beer can on wheels. So, let's see what happens when we start her up. First, let me get all this stuff out the way, and then I'll get her started. Back with the next vid. But that's the way she set up. I'm sorry. Yeah, filter is hooked up. Sits up higher than what I like. That's good. Don't look like it have any problems. The way it sits. I'm just gonna see what it feels, sounds like, and see what it rides like. Next vid. All right. Just started this puppy up. There ain't no. This is a This is a drive-by wire, so I don't have a cable I can go out there and like the old school cars and hit the little gas switch and make it rev up. So I got to do it from here and the good old gas pedal right there. So it's the new filter that I got. End it out. Maybe I can get you to see it. New one, that's what it sounds like. So let me go drive it and see how it drives, and we'll make that video. Well, so far so good, y'all, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it has a lot better response, but as far as giving me more power, no. We are still seeking that 200 horsepower, and we're still seeking the best we can get out of a 2.0 liter motor right here, this Ford Focus. And so far, I mean, the response, like I said, is good, and I can't complain about that. It definitely got power on the top end, and the lower end is still the problem with Ford Focuses. The lower end is where the power drops off, and you don't have no more power after so much torque has been put out and so much horsepower has been put out for the computer. So you have to really, honestly, if you want power out of these cars, and you want speed or whatever, you want to gain a little bit more out of it. You definitely gotta, you gotta have it. You gotta have that motor changed out to the ST motor, because it's just not gonna work like that. You know what I mean? And I know that, but it doesn't hurt to try and see what you can formulate from really nothing, and that's what I want. And that's my goal. I have achieved at least 15 to 20 horsepower out of this motherfucker since I've had it, and I'm satisfied with that. I think she qualifies for a little 0 to 60 time down to about 7 seconds now. 6 seconds now. I'm gonna say 6.5, because I had it going at about 8 seconds, 8.3 seconds, I think it was, and now it's down maybe about 6.5 seconds now with that new filter. Oh yeah, it's torqued out. Oh yeah, it's woo. She giving it her best now. Well, for an 8-year-old car, it's definitely responsive like a motherfucker. 8 years, you say 8 years ain't long, nigga, that's almost 10 years old. I got bad ball joints, so I know the shaking is from that, and the lower control arm that I'm about to change out. That's my next big project with this car, and hopefully I have saved enough money to get it done, and then I can sell this car for 100% of what it's worth.